Hello, can everyone hear me? I'm going to be learning SvelteKit. So last time I learned basic Svelte. I did not study the advanced part yet, but I want to learn some SvelteKit before I get into advanced Svelte. Uh, Hold on. Okay, now let me change to full screen. This is the Svelte page. Create a project with, okay. So I already studied the basic Svelte part. Advanced Svelte I didn't do. I'm going to study the basic SvelteKit. I want to study some of the framework first. And I want to start making some projects regarding involving SvelteKit. And then I would study the advanced bit. But I want to create a project here. Now I create a SvelteKit project. I want to see what's the basic thing they give. Anyways, let's go to here. Introduction. What is SvelteKit? Whereas Svelte is a component framework, SvelteKit is an app framework or meta framework, depending on who you ask. That solves the tricky problem of building something production ready. So routing, server-side rendering, data fetching, server workers. So if you have like Svelte only without SvelteKit, I tried making a project, but it doesn't have the page routing thing. You need an external library. It doesn't have like a built-in page routing. So we need SvelteKit for that. So that's why I'm learning the basic SvelteKit first. SvelteKit apps are server rendered by default for excellent first load performance and SEO characteristics, but can then transition to client-side navigation, like modern single-page apps, to avoid jankly reloading everything when the user navigates. They can run anywhere JavaScript runs, though, as we would see, the users may not need to run any JavaScript at all. That sounds complicated, worry not. SvelteKit is a framework that grows with you. Start simple and add new features. On the right, in the file tree view, you will see a handful of files that SvelteKit expects to find in a project. This is my VS Code. The learning Svelte. Yeah, I'm going to be putting my Svelte folder here. The learning Svelte. It's still loading though. Package.json will be familiar if you worked with Node.js before. It lists the project's dependencies, including Svelte and SvelteJS Kit, and a variety of scripts for interacting with the SvelteKit CLI. We are currently running npm run dev in the bottom window. Okay, so the main part is the app.html. This is the home page, and then we have the routes. SvelteKit.head, SvelteKit.body. Note that it also specifies type module, which means that .js files are treated as native JavaScript modules by default, rather than the legacy CommonJS format. Svelte.config.js contains your project configuration. Okay, wait. Type module is over here, and then contains your we don't need to worry about this file for now, but if you're curious, visit the documentation. Visit white.config.js contains the white configuration. Because SvelteKit uses white, you can use white features like hot modular placement, TypeScript support, static asset handling, and so on. Source is where your app's source code goes. Source app.html is your page template. SvelteKit replaces sol.head and sol.body as appropriate, and source.routes defines the routes of your app. Okay. Finally, static contains any assets that should be included when your app is deployed. So welcome to SvelteKit, right? And the SvelteKit.head, SvelteKit.body, enter SvelteKit minimal, I guess. Nah, minimal. TypeScript and add ESLint, npm. Okay. SvelteKit uses file system based routing, which means that routes of your app, in other words, what the app should do whenever the user navigates to a particular URL, are defined by the directories in your code base. Every page.self file inside sources routes creates a page in your app. In this app, we currently have one page, sources routes page.salt, which maps to the root page. If we navigate to about, we will see a 404 not found error. They have the shade CSS. So home and then about should give a 404. So just a single slash leads to page.self. Page.self is the default, right? Shouldn't about give like a 404? Let's fix that. Add a second page, source routes about page.swipe. Copy the contents of source routes page.swipe and update it. About home, this is the home page. So what do they want? Routes about page.swipe. Okay. I think I would wait for this to get installed and I will work on my VS Code instead. They have sources here. What is app.d.ts? We have app.html. There's some extra files we didn't see before. Okay, I won't touch this. We have app.html. We have SvelteKit.head and then SvelteKit.body. Libraries, routes, place files you want to import through the $lib alias in this folder. Welcome to SvelteKit. Visit sol.dev docs kit to read the documentation. So everything in route goes to the body part, right? What goes on the head? Let, let, let this finish loading. So what they want is this is the root page and then the how do I create a new folder? About a new folder plus page dot svelte, and then it would have the same contents as this. And over here it would say about. This is the about page. Unlike traditional multi-page apps, navigating to about and back updates the contents of the current page like a single page app. This gives the best of both worlds: fast server rendered startup, then instant navigation. There's an error. Did this finish? No. Okay, let them finish installing, then I will focus on it. Different routes of your app will often share common UI. Instead of repeating it in each page.swell component, we can use a layout.swell component that applies to all routes in the same directory. In this app, we have two routes: source route page.swell and source route about page.swell that contains the same navigation UI. Let's create a new file, source routes layout.swell. So in the route section, we need plus. Well, I did some, I made a project with next.js, so there is some familiarity. Sweat, right? And then the common UI goes here, navigation. And then we don't need this here. So about, this is the about page. Home, this is the home page. And in layout.swell, you have the navigation. Now let's see. Doesn't load fully. And move the duplicated content from page into the new files. The render children tag is where page content will be rendered. Okay, so copy and paste is disabled. Okay, so they have a script. Let children be props. Lang is ts, and then we do this at render children. Is this correct? Why is the color like it's purple color? At render children. Home. Then let's see the about. So we have app here. We have page.salt here. We have, wait, did I close it? Let's see, package.json. We start with white.dev, white.dev, right? We start the development build like that. White.dev. Oh, npm run dev. Now we have about, and then in about we have page dot svelte. Home page. About page. There's no CSS though. About. About. And then in the routes we have now in the routes we have layout dot svelte, and then we do this. There shouldn't be any CSS here. I forgot what is display contents. A layout self files applies to every child root, including the sibling page.self file. To create routes with dynamic parameters, use square brackets around a valid variable name. For example, a file like source route block slug page.swell will create a route that matches block 1, block 2, block 3, and so on. Let's create that file. So routes, and now they're doing blog. So routes, we had about, and now we have blog. And within the blog, we have slug, which is a variable. Inside blog slug, we have page dot svelte. Blog post. Oh, copy and pasting is unavailable. So h1 blog post. Localhost 5173. Localhost 5173. You can now navigate from blog page to individual blog posts. In the next chapter, we will see how to load their content. Multiple parameters can appear within one URL segment. So bar x bars is a valid parameter. So how do we get the slug parameter? So about home, this is the home page. This is the about page, and we need a blog page. We need blog.1. So blog.slug is defined, right? Hold on. Blog slug page.svelte. Why isn't this working? You can navigate from blog to individual blog post. So if I do one, why does it say In their blog, it says 1, 2, 3. Okay. Wait, they didn't do this. Hold on. Oh, now they did this. So blog, blog post. Let's see. So they have in the main page. No, this is the home page. In the layout, the top layout, they have home, about, blog, blog, and over here we define page dot svelte. And we go here. This is the blog page. Blog. And then we do nav ul li. No, they didn't do nav though. Forget nav. One id. No, shouldn't it be one, two, three? 1, 2, 3, and this is blog post. But how do we access the slug variable? So about, and now the blog post. I think it didn't work last time because the page.swell wasn't described in the blog directory, in the blog folder. Uh, did I miss anything? Okay. At its core, SvelteKit's job boils down to three things: routing, loading, and rendering. Figure out which route matches an incoming request. We have seen how routing and rendering work. Let's talk about the middle part, loading. Every page of your app can declare a load function in a page server.js file alongside the page.salt file. As the file name suggests, this module only ever runs on the server, including client-side navigations. Let's add source, routes, blog, page.server.js file so we can replace the hard-coded links in routes, blog, page.sort. So in blog, they're saying to add this, right? .js blog. Okay. So that we can replace the hard-coded links in page.sort. So page.server. Okay, I'm getting a little confused. So they have this. They have data.js. Data.js. So I'm guessing this is blog 1, blog 2, blog 3. And in page.server.js, we load the blocks. Every page of your app can declare a load function in a page.server.js. As the file name suggests, this module ever runs on the server. For the sake of the tutorial, we're importing data from data.js. In a real app, you would more likely you would be more likely to load the data from a database or a CMS. You can access this data in page.self via the data pop. Okay, so they're importing what? In data.js, they're importing post from data and export function load. What does load do? Return summaries. Wait, I don't understand. Uh, return summaries post.map. I don't get what this makes. I need to do like a console.log post.map. Slug post.slug and title post.title. Slug post.slug title. Okay, let me think about this. Can I do console.log? If this runs on the server, should it console.log post here? Blog. Yeah. So the output is an array. The output is suppose.map. The output is an array of slug and title. Slug title. And slug title content. Title. And then title here. Slug title. Summaries. What does this give? So an object, summaries, having an array of 3. Can't we send the array itself instead of putting it inside an object? And then what do they do? So they have this. Okay, they're sending an object with one key, which is summaries, and the key has an array of everything. And in in page.svelte, how are they accessing the data? Through in the props. Okay. So script let data props console.log data. This should run on the client side, right? Uh, hold on. Console. Yeah. What is this? Yeah, this data over here. Hold on. Let me open this. Why does it say not found? Now, if I open blog, I get this data. Why did it run here though? Shouldn't it be only on the client? So each data dot summaries. So each data dot summaries as slug and title. Each h reference slug. Wait. Blog. How do I? ARIA label. Okay. So blog. This should have title in it, and there should be slug over here. So, okay, blog, welcome. This is blog safety, and this is blog cake. Let's go to data.js. Welcome, safety, and then cake. But shouldn't content be in here as well? Also, one thing I forgot. Why do we need a bracket over here? Shouldn't we just put curly brackets? Slug. Anyways, oh, we are in layout. Page dot sort. Okay, what else? Now let's do the same for the post page. What were we doing before? So post, oh, for each individual post. So data.js and for each post we do they do page.server? Yeah, page.server. Page.server.js import post export function load params. Wait, how are you passing input to the load function? So props, data props. Oh, params is like params is this slug over here. The parameter we mentioned during routing. That's the param they're referring to. Return. Why is this a red line? It's declare but never read. Const post post dot find post dot find uh post, okay, yeah, for each post dot post dot slug is params dot slug. Why is it called slug? So I'm guessing if this is true, then it returns that post. So find the first post where the slug matches. Why does it need to be like in curly brackets? Find post. Post does not exist on type or undefined. Any. Binding elements param implicitly has an any type. Can I change this JS to TS? And each page blog post script lang Yes, let data be props. So basically what we got from the server side, and console.log data. Now let's see. Why is it still outputting this data? Page.swell3. Page.swell3. Where is this? In slug. Slug. Console.log. No, not in slug, in a blog. In a blog. Uh, let's see, console again. Blog post undefined. Why is it undefined? Props data. Data.post. Why is it undefined? Let's see. Let's see. We have blog safety, and over here let's do console.log post. And what is this 404 not found? Post undefined. Okay, what's the issue here? Oh, I see. I did this. So on the server side, it did post. It's running. But why is it running twice? Oh, one from the server side and one from the client. Can remove this, and I can remove this, and then blog post. Blog post data.post.title. Data.post.title. Post is possibly undefined. Okay. But this is not TypeScript though. Yeah. Safety notice. And the content. Div Data.post.content. Oh, it has to be HTML. Add HTML. Also, does it work if it's TS instead of JS? If I do TS about blog, and what is this not found error and safety notice? Yeah, TS works. I'll change this to TS as well. Params unmatching. How do you define an object? Type. Was it this or was it interface? Oh, I'm forgetting. Uh, String. Was it like this? Params type. Okay, I'll have to search up again how it's done. Just as layout.self files create UI for every child route, layout.server.js files load data for every child route. Suppose we would like to add a more post sidebar to our blog post page. We could return summaries from the load function in page.server.js like we do in like we do blog page.server.js, but that would be repetitive. Instead, let's rename blog page.server.js to layout.server.js. Notice that the blog route continues to work. Data.summary is still available to the page. Now add a sidebar in the layout for the post page. So we have blog over here. So what do they want? In blog slug layout dots file. Wait, I want to see how it looks like when it's solved. So blog, right? And then we have more post on the side. Okay, so this will have its own layout. Uh, it's in slug, right? Slug layout dot sort. So in slug plus layout dot sort. So script, where is data and children coming from? Oh, children is like the data of the page. So script let data children props. But what is children then? No, I mean, what is data then? We have children. Or data is from the load function, right? So we have the main, and then we have the aside. So a div main part aside h2 more post. And in the main, we render the children. Add render children. Let's see now. 500 internal error. Children is not defined. Oh, wait. Now it should work. Why does it keep saying not found? We have more post over here. Uh, do they use each? Yeah, they use each, right? But let's load the layout, and any page below it inherits data.summaries from the parent layout.server.js. When we navigate from one post to another, we only need to load the data for the post itself. The layout data is still valid. See the documentation on invalidation to learn more. Okay, hold on. I'm receiving a call. Wait, hold on. Okay, sorry. Uh, so what they did? Okay, this I can understand, but where's the? We need the layout dot server dot ts. Uh, and then we get information from. Well, it's the same thing, right? Summaries, post, title and slug. And that goes over here. So each data dot summaries as slug, slug and title, and then end each over here. And we do li, yeah, uh, blog slug. Oh, we don't have to do like the JavaScript thing. Title. Let's see. Now we have more posts, but the thing I want to see is it includes the safety notice itself. Also, I will copy their CSS layout, class layout. Why do they define the style at the bottom? Class layout. Okay, there's quite a few left. I think I will pause here for today. And yeah, I will. I got a call just now, so I'll have to go. But I will continue my learning next time. Anyways, see you. Bye.